What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today we're taking a short diversion and we're looking at Hogwarts Legacy. There seems to be, in my opinion, some questions arising as to when we're going to be getting anything new regarding Hogwarts Legacy. There have nonetheless been a few tidbits that have surfaced, but nothing that is as loud as what we got as that first gameplay trailer that we got to see a while ago. And there is a reason behind this, and in this video I think we need to take some time, examine that so that we can have a better understanding as to why it is. We've kind of seen a lot more silence as to the reveal and everything being talked about the game in terms of marketing. Now, there was a developer showcase that was actually conducted at the beginning of this month. I made a video and an informational, and I was very excited to actually watch this showcase because it was a developer showcase. And most of you who are audience members here, you know that one of my favorite things to do is see how video games are made. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm always happy to watch. But then Gotham Knights was revealing a whole bunch of stuff, especially August being the month of a lot more information surrounding the game. So that carried my attention to another corner. And I really apologize for missing that because I wish I had watched it. I would have been able to give a few more technical background surrounding what it is that we saw. Even though the developers, according to Podcast Now and some other folk in the community, they have said that no one was allowed to show what was seen in that showcase. Now, even if no one is allowed to actually, show it or, showcase it, it is not out of the question to talk about systems like that. And if anything, I could have shown you other games that have done those in their own development process and still be able to bring some harmony to that. But I'll try my best to maybe see if there's a way I can, watch it and eventually maybe expose a few more details that are possible to do in a general sense. But nonetheless, the reason I made this video is to pretty much talk about why we're not hearing much about Hogwarts Legacy right now. Some people are probably concerned. I've shared some of my thoughts as to release dates, release windows, and some of you in the community, you kind of understand this concept, and that is Gotham Knights is the game that's going to be coming out here in October, and the wise thing for Warner Brothers Games to do in their release of video games is to actually be silent on the game that is going to be coming out after Gotham Knights until Gotham Knights has been released. The marketing, the informational cycle, all of the different plasterings on the wall and all of that goes on with the game that's coming usually does that if the same publisher is releasing two major games. They'll let the first game go and do all of the singing and dancing and hoopla, which right now Gotham Knights is doing that. And then they'll follow up with the game that's following, which is going to be Hogwarts Legacy. And so if you have not heard anything about Hogwarts Legacy, it's definitely because Gotham Knights is here on the horizon, and in the next few months, we'll be getting it. There are other pertinent aspects to consider nonetheless, which is a possible delay for Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm just saying that that is something that you have to put in your back pocket so that in case the developers decide that maybe there is a reason to move the game a little bit so it's not too close to other competing video games in order for Warner Brothers to be able to make the most out of their own, investment, then there's probably that possibility that they might move the game to say maybe January of 2023 or maybe February of 2023. But in my opinion, I don't know how likely that is. That seems to be a stretch, and I'm not going to make that conclusion in a video here today. Now, the reason I wanted to point this out, that Gotham Knights is going to be getting its own, showcase first before we see much more about Hogwarts Legacy, is because there is a wise way to reveal multiple AAA games from the same publisher, and there's also an unwise way to do it. And the beauty about this is we've actually seen this in the industry from two major publishers in the past. The very first example I'll give is Ubisoft. Ubisoft had a plethora of games coming out in 2020 in Q4. They had Immortals Phoenix Rising, they had the Watch Dogs game, and they also had the Assassin's Creed game as well. These three games were lined up. I can't necessarily remember exactly what months they were, but I know the order in which they released. They released Watch Dogs, then they released Assassin's Creed, and I think they released Immortals Phoenix Rising afterwards, which was in December. So that's why Hogwarts Legacy to me doesn't seem out of place if they're claiming that we're going to be getting a December or holiday release. It's very likely I've seen a publisher actually do that when they had multiple games. So this is also to go ahead and give some of the fans a little bit of peace of mind to say that it is not out of the question for a December date, and we've seen it. So the wise way to actually do this was kind of how Ubisoft did it. They basically made sure that they marketed their games in a very good sequence. Every single game had its own fiasco, its own pizzazz, and they had done a lot of those reveals earlier on in the summer, around the June, July months. And then as Q4 started to get close, they started to kind of go quiet until the game that was in line to be released was getting close before it got its marketing. Look at Hogwarts Legacy, look at Gotham Knights. Around the June, July period, or whenever it was, we started to see a lot more information about the games. Then we got a release date, and then as time started to draw closer, it seemed like Hogwarts Legacy had some kind of a natural step back from its marketing while Gotham Knights got put in the front. And then following this sequence, if the things are still going to line up the way they've already been planned to, get revealed and get unveiled, we're probably going to be seeing Hogwarts Legacy show up after Gotham Knights releases in order for there not to be any kind of conflict in terms of sales or in terms of maybe one game, causing some kind of a rift to the other, because Hogwarts is very popular and I see it being a very solid entry in the market. Now, I'll give an example of the foolish way or unwise way, let me not say foolish, but unwise way to release games that are from the same publisher under maybe different studios and seem to have some sort of a similarity, and how that actually can affect another game. The example I want to give here is with EA. Sometime, I think in 2016, maybe 2017, I can't remember. And for those of you who know the exact time frame, please let me know in the comment section. Battlefield 5 and the game Titanfall 2 were in line to be released by EA. So one was coming from DICE, the other one was coming from Respawn. For those of you who do not know, Respawn is the development studio that makes and develops Apex Legends and supports it, while DICE has always made a lot of the Star Wars games and Battlefield games. In this mix, Call of Duty was somewhere in the making and was also going to be releasing in that time window. Well, guess what? EA went ahead and within the space of about a week or so tried to maybe sandwich Call of Duty by releasing two FPSs that were very highly anticipated, and it just seemed to me that the business idea behind this was to maybe compete with Battlefield or to compete with Modern Warfare Call of Duty or whatever Call of Duty was that was coming out at that time, and they released both Titanfall and Battlefield at almost the same time, thereby, in a sense, inadvertently hurting the sales of Titanfall 2. And for those of you who've played Titanfall 2, and from the reviews, there was a lot of acceptance surrounding the game, and many people really did comment and said the most unfortunate thing about Titanfall 2 was the fact that it got released in the same release window with another shooter from its own publisher and another shooter from another publisher that is a heavy competitor. So that, in my opinion, is a classic example of the unwise way to unveil two video games of yours that are in the same genre or having the same release window in terms of the calendar quarter. So I think Warner Brothers is trying to take the wise route. This is why you're not hearing much about Hogwarts Legacy. And I think it's beneficial for both games, because as much as we may say Hogwarts Legacy is more popular or might be able to gain more sales and more attention, there's still going to be that conflict, or at least that scale of preference or opportunity cost that gamers are going to have to consider in regard to buying both of them. Because I guarantee you there are many Gotham Knights fans or enthusiasts who are looking forward to the game that couldn't give a lick about Hogwarts Legacy. They're there. You probably see their comments on this video when I post it. And then there are also those of you who are looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy and you couldn't care at all if Gotham Knights got released or not. Or even if you're looking forward to Gotham Knights, if you had to choose between them, you would choose Hogwarts Legacy all day, every day. So seeing that conflict even among our community members, I think this should tell us as to why right now we're not hearing much surrounding this game, which is a good thing. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I really do appreciate you guys' time and audience. If anybody knows where to point me to watch that Autodesk showcase, I would like to see it. Can't believe I missed it, but it is one of those things. I just have to use my time in the best possible way that I thought I could. So thanks again for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and we'll talk pretty soon. Peace out.